Welcome back to Real Leverage, guys. Today we're going to be diving into macroeconomics, geopolitics, and investing. Stay tuned. Today, it's August 29th. You guys will probably be seeing this on September 1st. But what were we talking about tonight? What does Sean say? It's a double witching today, which is funny because I had a different analogy for that. And I've been trying to piece that together, but he had a different interpretation. But for him, it was end of week, end of month. So let's dive into a little bit about like gold or silver, copper and everything. Silver was like 39.95 spot USD today at close, like so damn close to $40. It's going to happen next week, I think.
Well, that's especially the future contracts for September are $40 an ounce.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's bound to happen. I'm kind of trying to figure out what's going to happen if Powell cuts rates in September. Do you know what day that's supposed to happen or no?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's probably halfway through September, like September 15th or something. But the market is nervous because they don't know what they're going to do because the economic data that's coming out shows they should not cut rates.
Yeah.
Like they should not cut rates.
Yeah.
But then
Trump's on TV, 3-point cut.
Exactly. So it's which way is it? There was a great analogy from a reporter on Bloomberg I saw, and there's two different Americas right now. There's Trump's America and there's Powell's America.
Yeah.
And it's really a battle right now. And I think the market's nervous that they're not going to cut rates because that was last rate cut. The markets, even though Powell never indicated he was going to, they had the assumption they were going to.
What does he say every single time? We're waiting on more data before we make any decisions.
And the market's like, so you're telling me you're going to cut rates?
Yeah, exactly. But everyone's weighing on that. Yeah,
and the market reacted negatively when he didn't, but we expected that he wasn't going to cut rates. And
there's a lot of weight on the September rate cuts.
For sure.
It seems like it's going to happen. It seems like in the people's eyes it's going to happen. Hell, Polymarket has some bets on. He's one you can go on betting apps and bet on rate cuts. But the odds are saying it's going to happen. It seems like it's going to happen. It's kind of the sentiment. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Like, I feel like we're in this interesting time with like gold and silver. I don't know what's going to happen to copper. But you think about like typically, the general equity market, if they're going to cut rates, typically it does better. I mean, everything's, whatever, within a couple of weeks span at all-time highs, including Bitcoin, even though it's down. But, within that couple of weeks, everything is at all-time highs. And typically when you cut rates, it keeps going up. So it's kind of an interesting time. I actually looked it up. I can't remember the date, so don't quote me, but they did this once before in the past. And the years following, that 1 or 2 years following, the market actually performed really well.
Okay.
But I think that, I think that was dating back into like the mid 1990s, which kind of contributed to the big tech melt up in 2000, 2001. So if it happens again now, I mean, it's just going to be a bigger melt up, probably a bigger crash. But my point of all this is I'm wondering what's going to happen with gold. Because typically you'd think if it's risk on, rates get cut, people invest in broader equities, you'd expect gold to go down. But I feel like these last couple of years is this interesting time where people just want to own gold, even if they're still buying S&P 500.
I would agree with that. I mean, what's the U.S. dollars purchasing power is at 3%?
Yeah. If you date back to what you could buy with $100, 100 years ago or 200 years ago, or whatever.
But yeah, I think gold will still go up. I don't know how the market will react to the rate cuts if there is rate cuts. I mean, typically
sounds like there's going to be rate cuts in January no matter what.
Yeah,
Powell gets fired,
right?
Or his term ends.
Yeah, but typically what seemed from the research I've been doing, I mean, commodities, supply and demand, and then geopolitics, and then that's priced into the market. And I'm curious if the market's already priced in a no rate cut, because when you see how they've been reacting end of month, I mean, S&P was down today, NASDAQ was down, gold, silver, copper were up.
Right.
Right. Future contracts are looking like gold's going to hit all-time highs mid-December at, I think it was 3,516 is the quoted price.
Yeah, for November, December.
Right. So it's $3,502 for November. Got that locked.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, we're not experts. We have our opinions, and it'll be interesting to really see what's going to happen because it like you did say, I feel like it is a unique time.
Yeah, it is. I feel like worst case gold continues to chop, although it kind of broke a bit of a resistance line I kind of have like in my head
It's
right
been
now.
consolidating for good.
It has
Yeah.
for sure, right? It's had multiple big legs up and moves and stuff, but it's been kind of consolidating. I just don't feel like there's a big push or a reason that people are going to actually want to sell it, even if rates get cut, even if people want to throw all their money into the S&P 500 or whatever they want to invest in. Doesn't seem like people want to sell their gold either. They want to
No.
get other money and put it into something else. It doesn't seem like people want to sell gold. I don't know. I don't see gold going below 3,400, 3,300.
Well, and this brings back the basic, they cut rates, say they cut rates. Capital's cheaper. People are going to purchase more. Inflation will go up.
Yeah.
You want a safe haven asset. So, I mean, it might just, the gold might just avoid the going down part.
Yeah, might chop.
It might chop.
And then within a year or two max. I mean, I honestly don't think it's going to be 2 years before something scary happens again. But I mean, I had my prediction at the beginning of the year. We both did. I saw by end of year shit going down. Didn't see a rate cut coming in. I've been saying this whole time that I'm surprised that they are going to cut rates, but who knows what happens.
To be fair, when we did make those predictions, we were in the market, but we weren't looking at the news every day. We weren't as involved as we are now.
Yeah, true.
So it's
a little different.
It's easier for us to make kind of a prediction or assumption of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
In January. Even you look at the time.
The whole thing too. I can't remember who said it. Someone I was watching back, and this was December, January this year, and obviously December 2024. It was kind of like you can make your prediction. But you have to be adaptable. Like things change, you get more data. It's like Jerome Powell gets more data every month.
Exactly, and that's why
we need more data to make another prediction.
I find it unbelievable how much power he has in how he words everything. Right, like the investors are just leaning and waiting for any. Like he'll blink weird, and they're like, he's cutting rates.
Right. It's fun to watch live. I remember even being in construction. My last few months in construction, I'd be like because it's 11 p.m. PST on Wednesdays when he's doing the rate cut news, whenever it happens every month or month and a bit, whatever it is. Yeah, I'd be watching it in a room while I'm working and just seeing the market. It's just big fall, bounce up because he says one thing, drops off further. Well, it's crazy.
Was it not last time? Maybe it was last time. It's all a blur sometimes, but the market did not react well last time. I think wasn't that just after Trump announced tariffs on copper and copper dropped 23% in 2 days.
That's right.
I believe it was around the same time. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean,
what do you think's what do you think is going to happen to silver if they cut rates? I think gold's probably going to do some chopping shit. I think gold could even continue to go up with the rest of the market, which is interesting.
If they cut rates once, from the research I've done, I feel like it will maybe go 36 lowest if it were to go down, because I mean they do call silver poor man's gold.
Yeah.
So even though it's shitty saying, but I don't see it tanking. 36 seems to be where its support is really on the longer time frame.
Yeah, that's true.
Month, a year. So I don't know. I mean, no one really, it's like in Wolf of Wall Street, no one really knows what's going to happen tomorrow. It goes up, it's down, it's a fugazi, it's a woozy-wazzy, it's fairy dust.
We should put that clip in this podcast. Let's put it over.
Yeah, but so everyone has their predictions, and we're using supply and demand from commodities, what's happening in the geopolitical landscape, our experience in the market, previous history. I mean, history doesn't rhyme.
It doesn't repeat, but it rhymes.
It doesn't repeat, but it rhymes.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm ready. I'm ready for the ride.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think if they cut rates, I feel like silver's just ready to ride at this point. It's been really fun to watch this year. I'm glad I bought my first physical silver at the beginning of this year. I'm already up good. I mean, I have PSLV in my portfolio, so I paper silver as well.
Which has performed well when we bought it. So
I'm up almost 20% on my paper silver this year alone.
Yeah, same.
And, I mean, physical silver, same. You just don't think about it.
No, I think of it as like a fiddle toy on my desk.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You got 5 coins, you just
start playing with them for sure. No, but I feel like silver's up for a ride right now, and maybe that's us being naive because we're newer to the space. But it seems like silver's going to hit $40. I think by next week. The fact it was so close this week, unless the banks meet this weekend.
And come up with plan its downfall.
Yeah, which probably will happen. Maybe it'll be 2 more weeks, but we'll see.
But that's also the great thing about Real Leverage in this podcast is we're making our predictions. We're going to be wrong on some, and we can look back at the footage and review where did we go wrong.
Exactly.
And that's
Can even think about or watch back our thought process, why we thought this or that,
mhm.
and learn from it.
Yeah. So I mean, now it's out here for everyone to see when our predictions are wrong. It's not just when you and I are sitting in your car going for a drive, getting a
Talking our
sense,
shit.
talking our shits. Now it's out there for everyone. I mean, yeah, regardless of our predictions, we've had a good summer portfolio wise. I mean,
For sure.
it's been quiet, but
It's been it's been interesting because we're newer to junior mining. We've obviously known gold and silver our whole lives, right?
mhm,
But being newer to junior mining, it was interesting to kind of hear about the fact that summer can be quiet, but also see it.
mhm,
But there are still opportunities. And I found all summer long, it was like it might be quiet for a month. And then there's like a week where, like, even if news flow's not crazy, like everybody just wants to invest for that week. And I felt like that was like maybe like mid July to late July. It was like a good bump. And it was quiet for a month. And then the last, like, I would say maybe week to 2 weeks. I don't know if you feel the same, people are probably returning to the desk. They're starting to invest again. It seems like it's kind of picking up again. And what it sounds like from people we've talked to who have been in the industry for a while, that's typical. Come the end of August into September into October,
stuff starts to pick up
that's
again,
kind of the hot season starting in September.
which would maybe make sense on our KLDC pick. I mean, is end of summer or almost the end of summer, and it's starting to ramp up. Even most juniors are doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Gold Hunter is volume 800,000, 400,000 when it's been quiet
For
all
sure.
summer. Other ones, I mean, what KLDC all week's been averaging, I think, roughly a million.
Roughly a million. I mean, shit, when I got in on that, or when we did, which was about 6 weeks ago, 6 or 7 weeks ago now, shit, what was their volume? Like they're maybe doing 100K
Yeah.
average.
It was hard to get filled, the
Yeah.
buy order.
And now it's like the average, because obviously it's lagging. Your 30-day average is a lagging indicator. It's like
Mhm.
400,000 is the average,
Yeah.
and it's like the last week is like a million. The last 2 weeks is almost a million. It's
So
kind of building new levels of support. It's been fun. It's been a fun ride.
it's been a fun ride, and it was great because we were being smart investors and actually took some chips off the table just in case. We believe in KLDC so much, but we were advised through some more seasoned investors that you, even if you believe in it 100%, you need to take chips off the table.
For sure, you should take profit when you can. I mean, if we haven't, I guess we made a TikTok about it. If anyone saw that, but at most we're up 400%. It was kind of our first big win in the space. Initially going up 200% or 250%. We took our initial investment off the table, which was a great decision. No regrets, even though in hindsight we would have made a lot more money if we didn't.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea that we did. And then we've been just riding it since. Took, like you said, a couple chips off the table.
Still in profit.
Up 350 to 400%. Still riding some. Like, I don't know what I'm at. Maybe 50% of my original investment from 4 cents back 7 weeks ago, but still feeling good about holding it, analyzing it, moving forward. But feel good that we booked some profit today.
There's lots of potential still to be had with it. I mean, it hasn't even scraped what could happen, especially once they start drilling.
Well, they're done.
Further, aren't they going to drill more in winter?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I should have clarified.
Yeah. They just finished their maiden drill program, 2,000 meters, waiting on the assays. I'm thinking maybe 1 or 2 weeks they should be spitting some results out to us, which will be really exciting. It has been hot off the news.
Yeah.
Being new to this space, I've heard about it, maybe seen a little bit. Some companies get really hot on news, but this stock is hot off the news.
Oh, man.
and you know what I want to give credit to? I don't know if it should be Stefan, their CEO, or whoever's doing this. It's like almost like they're strategically dropping news release around the buying prices. Like, it's like whoever's saying today's the day to drop news is also like a technical analysis trader. And it's like, this is the perfect day because this is what the chart says. People are going to either start selling here, so we should drop news and keep people happy, or it's hitting the support. Like, I swear they're actually looking at the chart and strategically dropping news, which I have not even seen in the space yet.
It's got to be the experience too. I mean, for those of you who aren't familiar with the space, a lot of this management team, board of directors, chairman is part of Newfound Gold. They helped start the company. I mean, that stock eventually ran up to 10, 12 bucks at its peak. So it didn't perform as well as the expectations and story were.
Yeah, which can happen.
Which can happen in junior mining a lot. But still, this team knows how to tell a story, can find a good project, and deliver. I mean, if you got in early on Newfound Gold.
Yeah.
So
yeah, hopefully you just sold. You didn't ride it all the way up and all the way back down.
But Yeah, I mean, this team seems to know what they're doing, obviously. Even though we're new, you can tell from their mini docu-series, which,
I love that.
yeah, 17 episodes
17
now
or
or
18. I
18.
think they're on 18.
It's
Yeah. Treasure
absolutely
Hunters is a
fantastic.
series. It's great. And you learn a lot too. Like I'm learning so much about geology in the process. I've watched from like episode 7 to 18 now, and I've literally seen them like whatever episode 7 was, they were just bushwhacking, and then 9 they were doing channel sampling and putting them in baggies. I'm like, cool, that's good to know. And then now they've ran through the whole drill program showing core in boxes going off to the lab for assays. Like that's done. It's
Yeah.
been so interesting to learn that whole process through a little docu series. It's been so fun to watch.
For those of you listening, that might sound like complicated jargon, but from watching those docu-series, you will understand
Mm,
those definitions right away and what it means, what channeling is.
yeah.
I mean, it is great being a new investor into the space in KLDC, showing that level of
Hmm.
transparency, and also you're able to educate yourself a little more.
Definitely.
It's I haven't seen any other mining company do it that I'm invested in.
No, me neither. Some
Not that's in
people,
my portfolio.
yeah, not in the
Yeah.
portfolio. Some people do some videos, but it's been fun to watch how they've been doing it. Where it's kind of, yeah. So we're just kind of waiting to see what the assays say. Another good one for me this summer. I just sold today. Need some cash. Dollar sign GG Golconda Gold. It's an African gold producer. Someone on Twitter kind of recommended it. Did a little breakdown on why it's good. They're making money, but people aren't really paying attention to it. Maybe from some jurisdictional risk. But shit, I looked it up tonight when we were whatever having a beer. It's a 7 bagger this year alone, and I caught a double up on it in a month alone. 4 or 5 baggers into it, or no, I guess 6 baggers into it. So it's still running hot. I mean, shit, I sold today, and it ran up 10% after I sold. It's I don't have too much to say on the stock. I'm cashed out now. I'm happy with my investment. I got my double up, and the fact that it's ran so much already this year, I don't feel pressed that I'm missing out on another double up. You know what I mean? You go 21 cents to a buck 46. I think it closed today.
Yeah.
I bought in at what 78 cents or something, almost a double up, and I'm not mad that I'm going to potentially miss another double up or not. I think that's it's got to cool off a little bit at some point. Maybe rebuy, but that's been a good one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Again, still so new to the space. We are 6 months in roughly. I guess you could say 3 months.
I think we're a little longer now, dude.
Yeah, I guess 7. I've been saying 6 months.
We've been
for a
saying
while.
6 months for 6 months, man.
Yeah, for a while.
You got in here in January,
February.
February. A
February
job?
15th. Job.
Right. So you did your 6 months. You're on, fuck, I guess you're on 7 months now. It's August.
Yeah, I didn't really start investing heavily or
That's
learning
fair.
about the space until 3 months ago. Really, till you
Okay,
started
that's
taking
fair.
more of an interest in it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more just on the IR side.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, fair enough.
But it's our first exposure to really what the potential is, but there's also a lot of upside. I mean, there's some sketchy stories there. That there's something
Downside,
called
you mean?
downside. Sorry, thank you. It's late. But even some lifestyle companies, which for those of you who don't know what that is, they basically do financings to fund their salaries every year,
Yeah.
and they're not really
Doing anything.
doing anything for shareholder value. KLDC is an example of they're trying to have a full project and then maybe get bought out. I don't know if that is their plan to get bought out or be a developer, but they have.
People don't really like it. Seems like nobody wants to say they want to get bought out. It's like weird. Like
Yeah,
every junior wants to get bought, but they don't. They won't
they
say
don't
it.
want to say. Well, Myriad didn't they say in their presentation their goal
Yeah.
is to get bought out?
Yeah.
I like that about them. Is
Yeah, I do appreciate when companies are honest because not a lot of them are, especially the juniors. They kind of just like, oh, they're just working on it or they're drilling or whatever they're doing. Like, they all, I don't know, it makes it seem like they're all just kind of running through the steps of junior exploration, which is fine, but it's not really clear what their path is. And it's like, how do you know how to, provide shareholder value by either making a discovery or making a sale or whatever you're doing if it's not clearly defined what your goal is? How do you set steps to a certain goal, but you don't know what the goal is?
yeah, that comes down to a lot of the mining companies too. I mean, even the meeting we had today, one individual was talking about how this is a very capital intensive industry, and most of these junior mining companies, if not all of them, are not generating revenue
No.
or cash flow. Therefore, they have to go back to the markets for financing.
Mm.
We could talk, that's a whole episode talking about shareholder dilution
Yeah.
and how your pie gets smaller. But point is, if, yeah, you don't have a clear plan on how you're going to execute, shit can go downhill fast.
For sure. You just want to stay focused or yeah. I mean, but then again you can get lucky too.
We got lucky.
It's so speculative, right? You might just hit a good drill hole and make a shitload of money for your investors and that's great.
Yeah, look at Great Bear.
Yeah.
When it got bought out at $19, and this was a stock that I think was trading roughly around 25 cents for a couple years in a bear market,
Yeah.
and got bought out in a bear market at $19. That is a lot of shareholders, a lot of management that's made some good money, a couple million each.
Yeah, exactly. Made some careers out of that, I'm
Made
sure.
some careers, legends, and now their name is made. They
Yeah.
can go anywhere, and they're really
Yeah,
a
exactly.
legend. Which is also interesting about the space is you're only as good as your last deal.
Yeah.
And whatever companies you're with, you have to be selective because it can ruin your reputation fast.
Definitely.
I mean, the reputation is your main thing in this industry. I mean, if you lost a bunch of investors' money, no one really wants to do a business with you. Makes
No,
sense.
exactly. They're not going to trust you again, or it'll be hard to gain trust. It's already hard to gain trust with investors when things are good in this industry. It seems like that's what we hear.
Yeah, I mean, even when I was more on the company side, it was difficult for sure, especially with retail investors, because you're
Yeah.
kind of trying to educate them a little bit on your business as well as pitch a stock. That's a
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah. Doing the selling aspect of that for sure.
It was fun for sure, and
Yeah.
I had some success. But yeah, especially when you're
It's a
calling on
learning curve.
investors who they're interested but they don't know anything about the space, and you're like, well, this is what our project is. Why is this good? What is the average? Kind of an educator in some sorts.
That's cool.
But then yeah, so what we've talked about.
A little bit of investing, macro. You got any hot predictions for the end of the year? Gold, silver, copper, uranium, molybdenum, cesium.
Cesium, tantalum. I have a pick about gold, but I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, to be honest with you.
Shoot, man.
Well, no,
Who cares?
again, I'm not an expert, but depending on how rate cuts go, I wouldn't be surprised if Q1 of 2026 gold is at 3,600. Again,
That'd be nice.
that would be nice. It really depends on what happens in September's rate cuts, and then I guess January. There's a lot of economic data that will come out for the end of the year as well. So
True.
we'll see. That's my edgy but safe prediction. I could see gold
seems
going up another
realistic.
$100.
Yeah, for sure. Might get to 3,600 by end of year, 3,500. I think for sure 3,500. Even if they cut rates, I feel like people are going to keep buying gold.
I agree. I
People
just
love this stuff.
yeah, I love it. I wish I had a full coin, 1 ounce.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be one of those guys that says it's going to fucking 10,000 because no one knows.
Not by the end of the year.
No,
Just at some point.
some point maybe.
It's inevitable.
Where the world's going and the U.S. dollar is losing its value.
That's right.
People are going into Bitcoin, which is interesting because Bitcoin's at 108,000. It's actually
Dropped a
going
bit.
down.
Yeah.
So that trend line since hitting all-time highs is in a downward trend. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's interesting to see what happens there. I've seen a lot of people predicting that it kind of hit a hard top.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it did. I think Bitcoin at some point will be far higher than what it hit today.
Yeah.
And I've been kind of a hater for a while, unfortunately. Even though I bought it at like 40K.
Yeah.
I've been a bit of a hater. But if the market crashes, we see Bitcoin at 40K again, I'm going to be buying a lot of Bitcoin. I'll be honest.
I 100% agree. I mean, we like junior mining, we like gold, we like silver, but I mean, Bitcoin is also a good asset.
The mass adoption of Bitcoin that I've seen this year and over the last couple of years, and it's almost like I was blind because it's been for several years, for 15 years, but like truly since like post-COVID, been a mass adoption of Bitcoin. I feel like this year really opened up my eyes that but I still feel like it has a long way to go. It's still so cyclical. It's not, people say there's a mass adoption into Bitcoin, both institutionally and individually. You hear people's grandmas talking about Bitcoin now, right? So there's an adoption to it, but it's not ready yet. People say it's going to become a world denominated currency. It's too cyclical still. How the hell can you have your currency move 5K in a day on some news on TV?
I think it needs to be more the U.S. is adopting it, obviously, with the strategic reserve.
Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that.
Trump said they're not doing that.
I know.
He fucking lied.
Yeah. So
and Bitcoin fell like 10K.
Which makes sense though, right? But it it makes sense why it fell. I mean, it's also we won't get super political.
Shit's just wild with Trump right now, dude. Let's get
Shit's,
controversial. We need more views on real leverage. Say some crazy shit.
well, I'm just gonna say,
how do you
it's
feel
like,
about Epstein? Okay, just kidding.
oh, he's a spy in the CIA. But to be
Yeah, he's not really dead.
no, okay, we're not.
But
Anyways, what I was saying is, yeah, I mean, one, you can't fucking take a word any politician says. It doesn't matter how big their promises are. I mean, their promises are based off who's writing the biggest checks to their donations. That's what I say. Don't look at the politician, look at their donators.
yeah, 100%.
I mean, again, not going to get into that, but it's
Maybe another day.
Maybe another day when we're more established and people can, yeah. Anyways,
Back to Bitcoin.
108,000. I mean, it seems like the market, yes, the strategic reserve not happening is a big hit to Bitcoiners and the entire crypto market, because that's why everyone was buying it. That's why funds were buying it.
Exactly.
BlackRock is because of this mass adoption, move away from the gold, whatever, right? Or
I think it might just need to cool down a little bit. That being said, if we see rate cuts in September,
it's going to be risk on again.
Yeah, well, Bitcoin's going to go back up to all-time highs, but I still believe, and I know we talk about this a lot, and it's kind of like, I feel like it's not a bold take because it seems obvious to me, but it might sound like a bold take with everything kind of around all-time highs.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy Bitcoin at 108 because I think I'm going to buy Bitcoin at 60, honestly.
Well, I mean, and that comes into kind of, like you said, the hot take is maybe eventually the market's got to go down. It's going to, I don't want to say crash, let's say correct to be conservative.
To be conservative, it's going to be a big correction.
It's going to be a big, massive correction. And eventually it has to happen. I mean, there's a reason one of the most intelligent investors of all time, Warren Buffett, is holding $300 billion in cash now.
Yep, record cash position and growing, and has been growing for over a year. Keep that in mind.
Yes, I mean Michael Burry, he sold most of his positions, right? He's got shorts, open shorts on everything.
Wild? He literally switched like that. Not only did he sell his positions, he instantly flipped them to shorts. I mean, he's kind of. I mean,
he's a contrarian investor.
He's a big contrarian. Yeah. He's also predicted the last 10 or whatever. What is it? The last 20 of the last two corrections. He's predicted. It's a joke because he always says it's going down.
I mean, that's his claim to fame. For people who don't know, he kind of predicted the 2008 financial crisis. He shorted, was it 2005 or 2006 when he started opening short positions? It was 2 years. I think it was 2 years.
Yeah, it was a couple of years.
2 years before. And
everyone thought he was crazy. I mean, watch The Big Short. It's so fun. Steve Carell's the main actor. Right?
It's probably my top two favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
That and Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, it's good.
It is. It's so well done.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as a market crash goes, I think it's inevitable within the next 2 years. I predicted in this year. Granted, I did predict back in April, though, when it dropped like 20% or whatever, and caught a nice wave on the way back up, right? I caught, 50, 60% on NVIDIA and Walmart and some other stuff. I don't need to get into that, but that was a good kind of ride when I pulled away from commodities a little bit because I saw an opportunity in equities, which panned out well. In hindsight, again, probably should have held on longer. If I knew now what I knew then, which I'm learning so much so frequently lately, I probably still would be holding a lot of them because I do think the market's going to keep going up for a while, actually keep making all-time highs. But the crash is going to be big.
Well, Jay Martin, he actually had someone on his show a week or two ago say that he believes it's going to be a massive crash, an 80% correction, right? Which is, that for people who don't know, that's massive.
Yeah.
I mean, that should sound massive, but he even believes it's going to, NASDAQ will hit all-time highs again, S&P, and the market will go up further before it has this
massive correction. I agree. I don't know what if it's going to be 80%. It's impossible to predict that. I mean, some people predict it based on like the Elliott wave theory or like just some mass long-term technical analysis. But I mean, it's so hard to predict that it's going to do that much. But I think it'll be pretty significant. I think we're going to get everything a lot cheaper. I think we're going to get Bitcoin at 60K. Granted, I think buying Bitcoin at 60K when it drops, and this is just a random number, in a year or two, Bitcoin's at 60K. Buy that. I think we're going to see Bitcoin at $500,000 on the return.
I agree.
It's going to be even crazier.
Is it Warren Buffett who says buy when there's blood in the water?
And I think so. One of the things he says.
Sell when everyone's buying and buy when everyone's selling.
I said that on my recent TikTok. Exactly. Yeah. Buy when there's fear in the market, sell when there's greed in the market.
And it is true. And so
for sure,
I wouldn't say there's fear or blood in the water for commodities, but I believe we're positioning ourselves well for even when the market goes up, but when the market goes down, people are going to be going into gold and those safe haven
For
assets,
sure.
and commodities help run the world. So those things aren't tanking 80%,
No,
or at least I don't believe so. I mean,
no.
I think historically, 2008, even though juniors had a tough time,
Yeah,
gold did, but then it corrected a bit afterwards, right? Like it fell and then
for sure. It kind of, yeah, I mean, it's more cyclical
Mhm.
because it's more speculative, like the miners than the actual commodities. But I mean, it had a good bounce off of it. Kind of rides the wave both ways. But I feel like with the supply and demand case, there's such a demand for everything right now. Yeah, I mean, it's bound to be a good time. I think it's been a good time for a couple of years, definitely in commodities and metals. But yeah, I don't know. So it's bound to go down eventually.
Just thought of this, and I guess it could be another whole conversation, a rabbit hole. But if the market tanks, let's say 50% correction, people lose their jobs or whatever,
Hmm.
then productivity is going to be down. So then copper is going to go down because Dr. Copper,
Hmm.
the economic lead indicator, there's not going to be as many jobs for infrastructure and stuff. So I guess it does have a ripple effect.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah, so it is. We just have to wait and see. I mean, I don't know if we can make a prediction. When I was 4 years old when the 2008 crash happened, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, exactly. We're still learning. I mean, I was kind of learning about investing in 2020, so kind of saw a bit of a crash, but that was kind of a bullshit crash anyways, just saying.
Yeah.
Dropped and recovered in like 45 days. It was back to all-time highs. That was kind of interesting. That's a whole other conversation there.
Lots of learning that still needs to be done. But if if you don't realize, Tyler and I are very passionate about investing, and we've always been investors, regardless of the space we've been in, whether it's construction or now the capital markets. We're investors first, so it is a topic
100%.
we could talk about 4 hours.
Yeah.
So if anyone does want to talk to us about investing,
Yeah, reach out.
comment.
We should do another show on investing soon. Like even in another month, we should do a monthly show on investing, macro, geopolitics. It's so fun. I love learning about it.
And we're teaching ourselves too. Like we said, we'll review the footage and what was our thought process.
Mm-hmm. It forces us to be more educated next time, right? Like we're going to come here in a month. We've already broken down our portfolio today. We can do that again in a monthly update, which would be cool. We can see how maybe our monthly predictions on silver or gold kind of pan out, and forces us to level up a little bit as well. We want to come here next time and talk your ear off on the the demand case for silver. Like we could do that every time, but that's boring.
Exactly.
We gotta figure out some more shit.
Yeah, and when we do come back, I mean, we'll have notes. There's also a history here of what prices were at and what we predicted, and we'll see. I mean, again, after this video goes out, I think rate cuts are halfway through September. That's going to be a telltale sign for the rest of the year.
Yeah, we'll be able to speak on that maybe next time we do this episode.
Exactly.
So at the end of September, maybe let's shoot for it.
Yeah.
We'll be able to speak on what happened with rate cuts, how everything reacted to that, and how we think that's going to affect the rest of the year.
We'll be filming that episode on the streets when we lose everything because we were wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Or in
we're way over leveraged right now.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. I mean, we are not leveraged. That is a good thing. I learned that the hard way with Bitcoin when I lost $1,000 in 2 minutes, but that's a story for another day.
That's right. I think that covers it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for listening to this episode of Real Leverage. It was a blast. Stay tuned for next time.